like a lot of people think they can just hit the ground running, and some people do the right things and end up doing that. But it's always good to take a step back and to kind of analyze how things are, and instead of just create, like have some sort of critical commentary on what you're doing and things that you can be doing better. That's part of what the internet is good for. Also, is that people aren't going to tell you to your face like what. At least people who will pretend or actually be your friends, either or, they're not going to tell you, hey man, you could have done da 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 da, and hey, you could have done da 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 better. But and so that's what the internet is good for. A lot of things can just be blind hatred on the internet, but you have to kind of just let that just see through that for what it is, like. And then sometimes people can be helpful. Other times they can be nitpicky. Like if somebody has a good podcast and are presenting themselves good and have good ideas and but the background isn't like great. Like who gives a fuck? Like, and if somebody's like nitpicking at that, then like. Oh yeah, hey, like what is up with that backdrop, bro? Like who gives a fuck? Is like the backdrop is like the least important thing in that scenario. So what are you complaining about? Do you have like, oh hey, maybe you should have a segment where you do rank this, that, and the other thing. I think that would be good. Yeah, okay, like that's obviously somebody who's a friend with you is like, yeah, you're good. What you're doing is good. Not a lot of people will have the confidence to just come up and it's like, hey, yeah, you could have did that better. Which is what the internet is good for. It's good to have all sorts of opinions. It's good to not fear being shot in the head because some overly self-conscious artist can't take a little bit of criticism. So that's good. The internet is a great thing. It's much easier to get these things started. Like, I'm a very independent person and I do not work well with other people because I hate dealing with other people's fucking personality fucking quirks, and right now is like borderline fucking autism is like mainstream thinking right now. Everybody's just fucking so involved with their fucking virtual lives that they can't even be bothered to develop like simple fucking conversational skills, and we're just expected to deal with it. Oh yeah, deal with old Timmy's autistic freakouts there, and it'll be fine. That's just how he is. Bullshit. And this whole idea of mental health is really starting to fucking bother me. It's really starting to bother me. It's not that I don't feel that people don't have mental health issues like schizophrenia, like severe ADD, stuff like that. But right now what we're saying is that you can just do anything and say, you were depressed or had some mental health issues, and you'll get 10 to 20 years off prison if they can't prove otherwise. Like, what the fuck is that? And like, I don't want to seem like I'm being insensitive because, like, I'm not here, but I can only tell things from my own personal perspective. And there was a time, like, I was going through a really shitty period where I felt like, it might have been depression, like where it felt like how they describe it in the commercials, where like it's this cloud of like, but I also kind of felt the Joe Rogan side of it too, where it's just like, well, what if you're just not doing this? What if, like, what if what if you could be doing something better? What if you could be eating healthier? What if you could be exercising? What if you could be doing good things to yourself? Do you think that maybe that would help your mood state? And, like, to be honest with you, I didn't know the answer. I didn't know whether it was just something that was a illness, quote unquote illness, or whether I was doing things that was contributing to where I was at the time. And so what I did was I tried. You don't want to try going to the doctors and saying that you're fucked up in the head, that you think something's wrong with you first. You want to try the au natural holistic approach first, and see if you can fix the things that are wrong by inputting better things into your body, whether it's better music, better movies, better health, better just inputting good things. And and I tried that, and it took a long time. It took half a decade, but I got to where I needed to be, and at the end of the day, I don't feel the need, like that cloud never came back. It went away because I realized what it was. I built a proper shelter over myself to not be worried about it. And I feel that a lot of people aren't doing that and aren't starting from that framework. That maybe the problems that you have are your own doing. Now, I also have been blessed / cursed with the fact that I didn't grow up with an incredibly wealthy upbringing. So I also see the fact that there is circumstance, and that bad circumstance isn't just an extra step to overcome. It's I think for some people, like, just doing a 9 to 5 and just getting by is a great thing. For some people, for just doing that and doing that every day is a good thing. And like, I don't think that they're necessarily to blame for the reason why they're not, like, for the reason why they're not stupid wealthy. For some people, it's such a you get stuck with a couple kids, a bad relationship, and literally just overcoming that is, like, you're talking about like a decade before you can actually sit there and reassess. And then by then, like, you haven't had time to just sit down and flush things out and figure out where your life is gonna go from that point on. So you're already, and then where do you start? You literally just lost a decade. You literally have like a decade worth of things to overcome. And not that you can't overcome it, but I think, like, if you're gonna turn into like a fucking raging asshole because of having to do all these things on top of it, honestly, I feel like if you just can just hold down a 9 to 5, like, that's, for some people, not for everybody, but just holding down a 9 to 5 is borderline heroic in today's day and age. It's a lot better than developing personality disorder and presenting everybody with it on a day-to-day basis and really not accomplishing anything, and just needing to fulfill your ego on a day-to-day basis, and needing affirmation and appreciation from people who only give a shit about the last thing you've done. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad, and in some cases, having a regular 9 to 5, community college degree and doing and just living a normal life in many ways is better than the consequences that follow, having to get a massive amount of fame and money at a certain point of time. But I also don't agree with people who whine. Oh, I'm too famous. Oh, you don't know what my life is like now. Oh, woe is me. Let me cry with my $100 bills. Oh. See, I don't get that either, because it seems like the people who do this, who complain a lot about fame, are also the same people who probably shouldn't be doing what they were doing to get them famous. It's like a lot of the artists I listen to, they would be doing art whether there was like a half sold out bar that they're playing at, or whether it's like, whether it's the biggest arena, whether it's a Super Bowl, whether it's a Super Bowl or a dive bar that's half full, they would still be doing the same thing they were doing at the same level, no matter what the audience. And if you're going to go into something where there's a potential for that sort of level of fame and notoriety and criticism and being put under the microscope, it's like, what are you complaining about? Like, that's the life you chose. Like, I think the reason why a lot of these people are complaining is that they don't really like what they do for a living. That's my diagnosis in a lot of cases. It's like, say you grew up through Mickey Mouse fame or something, and like, you grew up to be cute, attractive, and people liked seeing you, but you're just singing someone else's songs, like you're just doing something for somebody else, and that eats at you over time, and that's why you're upset with why you're upset with the fame, why you complain about the fame. No authentic artist whose true passion is to do what they are doing would ever find it bad to be in too much, to be in too appreciated for what they are doing. My suspicion is that they do not really love what they do, and that the paparazzis, autographs, the this, the that, the fakeness of it all, it just eats at them slowly over time, and eventually that causes this sort of reaction to what's going on, in the whining and complaining about the fame. Like, okay, you complain about it. There's fucking tons of artists who don't get the radio time because they don't sing like 2.5 minute verse chorus chorus songs that they get that they don't get the airplay that they get because you are eating up it and complaining that you're too famous. I'm sure a lot of artists that should be heard do not get heard. So for you to complain about that you're too popular is just quit. Just stop while your head is fucking bothering you that much. Okay, just stop doing what you're doing. I know my ears would be grateful for that. I know damn well that I will not be complaining. Just take your money and fucking run, and do it now, and do something and start something that's gonna bring you fulfillment. Because if singing to little 13-year-old girls when you're fucking 40 years old and like pretending to fucking try and identify them is that seems like a fucking identity midlife crisis that's gonna hit you like a fucking ton of bricks. So stop now and try and get into something. Take your fucking tens of millions of dollars and do something that's gonna bring you fulfillment. That's not going to fucking bring you fulfillment, okay?